Good Friday evening, September 6th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A woman was struck and killed by a pickup truck Thursday while walking across State Route 17 near Stratford Road in Moses Lake. The Blewett fire would shut down traffic on Highway 97 after it erupted Wednesday afternoon is now 35% contained. An excessive heat advisory is in place for tomorrow and Sunday. We'll talk record-setting temperatures coming up in your local weather forecast. Rescuers rushed to Tumwater Canyon outside Leavenworth this morning to aid a fallen climber. Sergeant Jason Reinfeld, coordinator of Chelan County Emergency Management, says the fall happened about 7:28 a.m. from a popular climbing route on Castle Rock. The climber, a 43-year-old woman, had fallen approximately 25 feet and suffered a significant head injury. The rescue required a rope system and aid from Wenatchee Valley Fire, Chelan County Fire District 3, and Cascade Medical Center paramedics, as well as Chelan County Sheriff's deputies. The patient was moved in a litter from the point where she fell back to the Castle Rock Trail before being taken by ambulance to Confluence Health Hospital. Reinfeld said the climber's current condition is not known. An East Wenatchee police officer is charged with second-degree assault and unlawful display of a weapon after allegedly pointing a handgun at another motorist while driving near the Vantage Bridge. 40-year-old Landon D. Jensen faces trial in November in Kittitas County Court. On June 18th, Washington State Patrol troopers stopped a Tesla that Jensen was driving on I-90 after he allegedly pointed a Glock pistol at a commercial truck driver while the two vehicles were trying to merge in the bridge construction zone. Jensen joined the East Wenatchee Department as a patrol officer in 2020 in December after working for the Seattle Police Force. Police Chief Rick Johnson says Jensen resigned from the department in mid-August. A military veteran who fired gunshots into Wenatchee's VA medical clinic last year was sentenced Wednesday to 2 years probation and to mental health treatment. 54-year-old Troy A. McMaster of East Wenatchee pleaded guilty in July to malicious mischief and discharging a firearm. He previously served in the U.S. Army in the late 1980s and early 90s, and authorities say he carried out the December shooting while suffering a mental health crisis. No one was present in the building and there were no injuries, but police shot McMaster multiple times after stopping his fleeing vehicle. Under the sentence from Chelan County Judge Robert Jordan, he must be assessed and treated for both mental health and alcohol dependency issues. A woman was struck and killed by a pickup truck Thursday while walking across State Route 17 near Stratford Road in Moses Lake. The Washington State Patrol says at roughly 2 p.m., the pedestrian was crossing from the southbound to northbound lane when she was struck by a 2019 Chevy Colorado that was traveling north. The pedestrian, a 51-year-old from Yakima, was pronounced dead at the scene. Her name has not yet been released pending contact with her next of kin. The driver of the Chevy, Rogelio Montoya of Moses Lake, was uninjured. When we come back, Cascade Veterinary Clinic is hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony and party next Wednesday to celebrate the grand opening of the veterinary chain's largest location yet. The Moses Lake School Board passed a resolution on Thursday asking athletic and elected officials to, quote, correct the current situation regarding transgender inclusion in sports. And the Blewett fire would shut down traffic on Highway 97 after it erupted Wednesday afternoon is now 35% contained. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, I'm Mike Steele, and I've been honored to serve you as our state representative for District 12 for the last 8 years. With experience in several leadership roles in civic organizations, as well as being a lifelong resident, I've championed projects that have made a difference in our community. I plan to continue the progress we've made together.
Re-elect Mike Steele, your voice in Olympia. Together we can achieve more. Visit votemikesteele.com. Paid for by the citizens to elect Mike Steele.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Steelhead Cider offers 20 taps with cider, beer, and wine, featuring views of the lake, great music, and fantastic flights. Find it on Wooden Ave behind the bookstore in downtown Chelan.
Kelly's Classic Ace Hardware Store. From the minute you walk through the door, you'll feel the difference. Kelly's revives the days of personal service lost in the big box stores of today. Kelly's Ace Hardware in classic downtown Chelan.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
Cascade Veterinary Clinic is hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony and party next Wednesday to celebrate the grand opening of the veterinary chain's largest location yet. From 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., local residents are invited to the new clinic on 4th Street to enjoy tours of the facility and meet the staff. Free t-shirts will be given to the first 50 people and free tacos to the first 100 people. East Wenatchee Mayor Geraldine Crawford will be in attendance along with many local pet-oriented vendors. The new clinic will offer the same services as the original East Wenatchee location, such as urgent care and surgical services, but at a larger capacity for local pet owners. The Moses Lake School Board passed a resolution on Thursday asking athletic and elected officials to, quote, correct the current situation regarding transgender inclusion in sports. The resolution is similar to one passed by the Eastmont School Board in August in response to a parent effort to have the WIAA amend its policy on transgender athlete participation. The WIAA's handbook says all students have the opportunity to participate in athletics consistent with their gender identity. Like Eastmont's resolution, Moses Lake School District says the current policies and state laws are, quote, not working for students, especially as Title IX regulation promotes equality and fairness in female sports. To spur the WIAA to review its policy, 5 school districts have to sign on to an amendment request by October 11th. The Blewett fire, which shut down traffic on Highway 97 after it erupted Wednesday afternoon, is now 35% contained. The U.S. Forest Service says the fire near the peak of the Blewett summit has been held to about 17 acres in size. About 80 firefighters remained engaged with the Blewett fire today, attempting to secure the perimeter. Motorists were barred from crossing the Wenatchee Mountains on the first day of the fire, but the Washington DOT now says traffic is flowing freely with a reduced speed zone near the fire area. Coming up next, the Loop Trail Cafe officially opened at the end of July and has been serving visitors of the Wenatchee riverfront area. We'll get an update on how business is going in tonight's feature story. Record-setting heat is possible through the weekend with a cool down and weather changes early next week. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Springwater Insurance Group is an independent insurance agency focusing on teaching those of you on Medicare or soon to be joining Medicare plans. Now, we don't work for any insurance companies, we work for you. It's nice that insurance plans you eventually join pay us for teaching you your plan choices. That means our services are free to you. We have 5 offices throughout North Central Washington providing customer service Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 509-888-2600.
In Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
Thank you for trusting Abby's Legendary Pizza for 60 years. Your hard-earned money supports hundreds of youth working at our parlors, dozens and dozens of nonprofits and school teams throughout the area. At Abby's, doing good in the neighborhood has never tasted so delicious. Can you smell it? It's not arugula and pear. It's bacon, and cheddar. Yep, everybody's favorite pizza is back on sale this month at Abby's, loaded with 2 kinds of bacon and real cheddar cheese. Enjoy Abby's September special at a very special price.
Riley Gaines, the All-American female swimmer at the University of Kentucky, is our guest speaker for the Chelan County Republican Lincoln Day Dinner and Fundraiser, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Riley's call to action is to defend and protect America's daughters from competing with and sharing locker rooms with biological men. Join us for an exciting evening with Riley Gaines and support our local candidates. VIP event at 5, dinner at 6. Go to Chelan County Lincoln Day at gmail.com for tickets.
Paid for by the Chelan County Republican Central Committee.
The Loop Trail Cafe officially opened at the end of July and has been serving visitors of the Wenatchee riverfront area. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News caught up with owner Diane Hall to talk about how business has been since first opening the doors to her new cafe along the Apple Capital Loop Trail.
Well, it's something I have been thinking about, and we were looking for the location. And we found this little spot, and the name came about to it. We was going to be roundabout, but we were like, no. Loop Trail Cafe came about when my husband and I saw this place. And we jumped on it because of the location. It's just beautiful. We only started out with hot dogs and melts, and I let the customers decide. When I come in, what would you suggest? And when I'm in here at 6:30, what would you like to see on the menu? And they said breakfast sandwiches, breakfast burritos. So I had the ingredients, and I just might buy a couple more things, and we put it together for the customers that come around and let me know what they would like to see. That's how it's growing. It's growing even bigger, too, into a dinner menu. Salad bar coming, soup, be all-you-can-eat salad bar. Soup, chicken wings, and stuff your baked potato menu. It's like your own dining room away from home. You know, it's our dining room. I tell people this is our place. But we soft opened for the offices at the end of July, the last week. We had to wait for all of our, we wanted to be open July 1st, but we had to wait for all of our equipment. That took time. So the end of July, we did a soft opening and figured out what my clients above me would like to have on the menu. So then I softly opened was a week after the second weekend after August, we opened back up to the public, and I warmed up with them, started getting to know the joggers, the hikers, and the little children that are coming in. My children's menu has grown, so that's exciting. When the park comes in, I'll be able to grow my menu with those families, and yeah, just warm up to it. And I personally think that people should stick in family rates of what families can afford. And they should get a little something with, if they're going to order a sandwich, they should get something with that sandwich. I've been many places eating and stuff, and I left hungry, you know, with just a sandwich. And you know, you're like, I want more, but if it costs more, I mean, each person go up $40, $50. I pretty much look at families because I raised, 4 kids, and I know what it's like to struggle. And so if they put like something on sale, and to bring them in to appreciate the customers, appreciate them, love them, because they bring their service in to you, and we can't survive without them, you know, and their smiley faces and their loving hearts. But when they come in and then they just get a sandwich and you see them walk out, and if they're not satisfied with what they get, I give them a little more. No problem. You want more chips? Are you still hungry? You know, especially kids. You know, if they look and they want a little more ice cream or sprinkles, give it to them. You know, kids are precious, and they're my customers too, and so are the doggies. And I got little doggy biscuits for them. We put doggy water out there. My customers too. They pull the owners over here too. It's funny to watch. My dog knows you. I say, remember you stopped for a treat a couple of weeks ago? Oh yeah. And they're like, well, come on in. Are you thirsty? Would you like a glass of water or something? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to get something out, you know, like a cookie and that what's all matters. Their heart walks out big and they come back with a big smile.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Friday was a good one. It was another warm one out there. In fact, hot one out there today. But as we take a look outside our weather window up in Okanogan County at our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera, haze. And that was our story here to the south as well in the Wenatchee Valley, and plenty of that up north too. Our air quality, though, wasn't terrible, between 60 and 80. That was our number generally in our viewing area, which is moderate. So by no means was it good today, but it wasn't unhealthy for sensitive groups. And it looks like that's going to continue into our Saturday and Sunday, also continuing very hot temperatures. In fact, we could set records tomorrow with highs between 94 and 102. Our record tomorrow is 93 degrees. And then on Sunday, we're talking 90 to 98 degrees. Our record once again on Sunday also at 93 degrees. So a good chance for that, but that smoky haze, it did keep our temperature down just a little bit today, 96 unofficially, and that was 1 degree shy of our record that was set in 2020 of 97 degrees. Look at our normal, 80 right now, so we were 16 degrees above where we should be this afternoon. 64 our low this morning, very mild out there. 56 is where we should be, and 44 our record low set way back in 1960. Sunrise 6:27, and the sun sets tonight at 7:30. All right, getting you into those hot Saturday temperatures. Look at that, the century mark for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, all record high temperatures tomorrow. And if we see all of these upper 90s, rather 99s, those will be records as well for our Saturday. 100 for Omak, 97 in Leavenworth, and you're not going to escape the heat in Lake Wenatchee either. Your high temperature tomorrow afternoon, 94 degrees. The reason, we'll talk about that in a second, but let's get to tomorrow right away. And this will be in effect for Sunday as well. Heat advisory, and that's in this yellowish gold area for all of North Central and Eastern Washington, where we just talked about those record highs are possible. So be careful if you are outdoors over the next couple of days. Find some shade and drink plenty of fluids. Tonight we expect mostly clear skies, upper area of high pressure and control of our weather. We will see more of those hazy skies tonight with low temperatures. Very nice, around 70 degrees for our overnight low. And then the weekend, we will see mostly sunny skies on Saturday. Record highs are possible. This area of low pressure will produce a few high clouds on Saturday, but we're talking highs near 100 on Saturday, and that goes for a scorching hot west coast to kick off our weekend. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies. Once again, maybe a few of those high clouds out there. We're talking highs in the mid-90s. Remember, our record highs for Saturday and Sunday, 93. So I think we'll beat both of those highs this weekend. On Monday, some high clouds out there. We're still going to be plenty warm for this time of year as we kick off our next work week. High temperatures again into those low 90s. We could even see some mid-90s as you move over into eastern Washington. For Tuesday then, a lot going on out in the Pacific as a little trough of low pressure forms. That'll bring some high clouds, partly cloudy for Tuesday and cooler. High temperatures only in the mid-70s for highs on Tuesday. Getting into Wednesday, partly cloudy and mild. High temperatures again, somewhere in those mid-70s. So it is really really going to cool down as we get you into next week. And then by the end of our forecast on Thursday, we are talking once again some high clouds out there. We'll call it mostly sunny for Thursday. Maybe breezy in the afternoon as another area of high pressure begins to build, with highs on Thursday in the mid to upper 70s. So a big cool down on the way. Tonight, 69 overnight, 99 our high temperature tomorrow. That would be a record. 95 on Sunday would also be a record high. 93 is our record for both days. 91 on Monday before we begin that cool down. Tuesday, partly cloudy and cooler. High temperatures in the mid 80s. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun. Temperatures actually slightly below normal, with highs both days in the mid to upper 70s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Happy finally Friday. The Mariners salvaged a series split with the A's by winning yesterday 6-4. Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and Luke Raley each homered as Seattle picked up the win for Brian Wu on the mound. Seattle heads for St. Louis to begin a 3-game series with the Cardinals. That's on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle's back within 4.5 games of Houston in the American League West after former Mariner Ty France homered in Cincinnati's 1-0 shutout of the Astros. Texas topped the Angels 3-1 to remain 3 back of Seattle. Yankees were idle Wednesday, so their lead in the top spot to the wild card race remains at 4.5 games. The Twins topped Tampa Bay 4-3 to move a half game ahead of the Royals. Seattle has company at 5 games out of the wild card race after Detroit beat San Diego 4-3 to pull within 5 games of Kansas City. Well, the Washington Huskies make their Big Ten debut tomorrow at Husky Stadium. Eastern Michigan comes calling at 12:30. The game broadcast on the Big Ten Network. Central Washington kicks off the 24 campaign in San Diego at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Eastern Washington hosts Drake at 4 on ESPN+. Washington State has a night game at Martin Stadium Saturday night at 7 o'clock. They'll host Texas Tech. That is on Fox. Seattle Seahawks kick off the 24 NFL season Sunday at home against the Denver Broncos. Geno Smith, Julian Love, and Devin Witherspoon all talked about how excited they are to finally play the first game on Sunday.
Super excited. Obviously taking it one day at a time, but we can't wait for the game. I think the guys are super excited and ready to go out there and execute. Be in front of the home fans. Looking forward to the 12s coming out, being loud as ever. Looking forward to a special season and, all of us collectively just having a bunch of fun.
I think it's the same amount of excitement. You're in camp for so long, it feels like, and you're kind of grinding away. And to finally get into action, to finally game plan, it's exciting. So, similar excitement.
I think the most thing I'm excited about is to see what we're going to do as far as team-wise, but I'm just ready to be back in Lumen. I just know the fans they go crazy when we back in Lumen, so I just ready to experience that again. It's been a minute.
Kickoff set for 1:05 on CBS. The high school football season kicked off last night in the Central Washington Athletic Conference. It was Toppenish beating Grandview 17-6. East Valley rolled over Riverview 50-0. Coming up tonight, Othello is at Ellensburg. Ephrata hosts Prosser while Sela visits Quincy. Wenatchee opens in Coeur d'Alene tonight against Lake City. New Panther head coach Taylor Mitchell says the 0-1 Timberwolves have an edge in that they've already played one game.
Well, I think Lake City has a little bit of an advantage over us, having their week 1 game last week, being able to shake off the rust a little bit, make some week 1 mistakes. And for us, it's our first game. I know that they had some turnovers last week. We were able to watch part of their game and some mistakes that you typically see week 1 from a football team. So that means that we just have to go in there, take care of the football, and limit those mistakes first time playing a football game. They have a big, tall, mobile quarterback. He escaped and can get out of the pocket. So I think keeping him in there, staying disciplined on the back end with our defensive backs is going to be super important. And then offensively, limiting those negative plays. There's a lot of penalties last week in that Lake City game. And so, up front, staying clean, I think controlling the football and, establishing the line of scrimmage is going to be super important for us week 1.
Senior running back Finn Matheson says there's definitely a different feel to this year's Panthers squad under a new coaching staff.
This year seems completely different because you go in the weight room, there's like 20, 30 guys in there just getting work done. In years past, it's been like 5 to 10. So it definitely has been different this year. And it's definitely like the energy is different around here. And it's a good place to be right now.
Wenatchee and Lake City kick off tonight at 7 o'clock. Eastmont has to wait until Saturday afternoon to start its season at Bonnie Lake. New Wildcat head coach Jay Foster says the Panthers have gone through a similar change as Eastmont over the summer.
Their defensive coordinator bumped up to become the head coach, just as we did. So he and I have talked already, and neither one of us are going to change a whole bunch. So we have last year's film, they have our last year's film, we have theirs, and you go in with the idea that, okay, it's not going to change a whole bunch, but there's going to be something different. So our preparation, and that's what we do all summer, and that's why Central Washington's camp that we go to, now we play, quick 20-play scrimmage against 6 or 8 different teams, and so each one is different. So the things that we coach and teach aren't necessarily designed for a specific team. It's designed for whoever shows up.
Senior nose guard Ricardo Kalunga says he's looking forward to getting to lead by example in his final year in an Eastmont uniform.
I can't believe it. I feel like it's been a long time, and I don't really think of it as like 4 years. I just think of it as like a good time I've had. You can't back down, and you can't just slack off, You always got to keep going all the way around. Yeah, especially in the classroom. Sometimes I was low getting Fs and had to bring it back up because I couldn't, miss time from football, wrestling, and other things like that.
Eastmont kicks off at Bonnie Lake tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Kashmir begins its inaugural campaign in the SCAC with a game at Wapello tonight. Royal visits Count of Benton. It's hosting Zilla. Walook is at Natchez Valley. College Place hosts Weston McEwen. The 3 teams that remain in the Caribou Trail League play non-league games tonight as Chelan visits Jenkins Chewelah. Omak is at Okanagan. Cascade hosts Liberty Bell. For the 2Bs tonight, Lake Roosevelt hosts Colfax. Brewster's at Reardon. Tonasket takes on Kettle Falls. Bridgeport visits Waterville Mansfield. Manson's at Cle Elum. The 1B play weekend, Moses Lake Christian visits Sunnyside Christian. Soap Lake is on the road at St. John Endicott La Center. Entiat has a Saturday night matchup at Tico Rosalia at 6 o'clock. Girls soccer season also gets underway with a full slate coming up tomorrow. Moses Lake plays at Post Falls at 10 a.m. The noon kickoffs have Cascade at Ephrata. Tenino hosts Chelan. Wenatchee's at Sealand. Quincy hosts Davis. Omak plays at Lake Roosevelt at 1. Eastmont is on the road at Mount Spokane tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
On the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we'll be talking about the events that will be here at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, September 11th, here at the Spirit of America Memorial in Kashmir. We all know what happened on September 11, 2001. We should never, ever forget Norma Gallegos from Hand to Hand Immigration Services and Doug Jones, the president of this year's Spirit of America board. We'll talk about what you can expect on a very emotional Wednesday. That'll be on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.